102.7 WMOM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. Coming up this weekend, August 2nd, West Shore Bank's Rhythm and Dunes concerts. And pretty excited about it. We just had the July 26th concert. That was awesome. Now, August 2nd. And between the two concerts, West Shore Bank over the years has raised $137,000 and counting for local bands in the area. Ludington High School, Mason County Central, Mason County Eastern, and it continues. And it means that the public, well, we want everybody to come out and see, especially these two individuals that we're going to be talking about and some of their band members. They're going to be on stage coming up on Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Before that, at 6 p.m., we'll have, again, local bands. LHS will be out there in front of the stage. They'll be performing at 6 p.m. leading up to and I'm hoping a pretty energetic concert for the night. Klay, is that meeting the expectation bar that the fans are going to be and the concert goers are going to be rocking it out with you at Waterfront Park?
100%, man. We are ready to bring it. You're in for a treat.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Joined by Klay and Tyler tonight. Tyler, we appreciate you being with us here and talking about the band itself. We're going to dive in over the next few minutes a little bit about how you formed, where you're at right now, what it's been like because you've been together for a few years now. I probably worked out some of the kinks. Do bands still have arguments, Tyler? Do you guys still have some disagreements sometimes?
Yeah, well, Klay and I have been friends for so long. So not only are we best friends, but we're band members. So we're used to it. We've been disagreeing since 2008.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, and that helps things out, to get through. And I haven't been in a band. You guys are in it. We as outsiders kind of speculate in the sense, but when you formed back in 2020 and now it's 2025, you gotta kind of work things out a little bit. What's been the biggest challenge?
I would say the biggest challenge is keeping everybody on the same page. What are your goals? What do you want from this band? The members have shifted in the last 5 years. So when we first started the band, our first show was literally right before COVID, was it not, Tyler?
It was. So it was we were just getting into it, and then
COVID literally the next week, I think that was the last show, and then it hit, and then all of our momentum, because we had been in the scene for years prior to this band beginning, so people who knew who we were, and we had this idea for this secondary band that we started, Klay N The Mud, and all this momentum, and then all of a sudden COVID had just kind of killed it for us. But we tried to, stay afloat and keep the momentum moving, and when things opened back up, we prevailed. So yeah.
What was it like? And I know we're probably beating a dead horse a little bit because you've had those questions asked of you during that COVID period of time. But if you don't mind me asking for our listeners and viewers, what do you do as a band, especially just as a new forming band during that time? Is it, you can't write and practice and perform. You could write, I guess, but you don't know how it's going to sound. What was that like?
It was strange. I mean, it was really strange. We did some of the live stream stuff, which was successful. That was really nice to be able to have that platform and ability to do that kind of thing. But other than that, we really just tried to okay, this is going to blow over real quick. Let's try to use this downtime to work out any kinks we have, make a really good set list. And that was actually very useful because I had all that time off my day job. Tyler, you were still working, but I spent all that time practicing guitar and all these different things that I didn't seem to have time for otherwise. So it was good.
Tyler, your thoughts during that time too?
My thoughts, it was, you just got to do what you do. We still got together occasionally, it was when COVID was still kind of fresh, and we were like, oh, I think we still need to be 6 feet apart and all that whole thing. Yeah. But there was a lot of downtime for me personally. I drive for FedEx, so I had zero downtime. Yeah. But it was just figuring out what works. The songs we've already played for years, we know work. It was just mainly figuring out everyone's ideas for the band and the direction we wanted to go. As soon as things started opening back up, we hit the ground running for sure.
But we actually played quite a few shows still, even during COVID.
Oh,
We
yeah.
were one of the only bands that like continued to play because we had all these shows booked already. And a lot of these venues kind of, shifted and accommodated to what the rules were. So we would play outside acoustically. We just did whatever we could and kept it going because I felt like if I wasn't playing and I had all that downtime, I wasn't going to be able to stay on my game. So I took whatever gig I could take, and everybody else did it as well. So it was really good in that way.
Did you ever think that, something like that? I mean, it was a hard time for everybody out there, but could it have stopped you in your tracks, or were all the personalities as part of this band that would have been an impossible feat?
Yeah, what do you think, Tyler?
I don't think it stopped really anyone in their tracks because it was a new band. We had new music. We loved playing, the cover tunes and loved playing shows. We were so like during that time we were cooped up. A lot of the times we weren't playing as much as we wanted to. We were still playing some live shows. So as soon as we formed the band, we're like, we want to play as much as we can and get our name out there because it was all a new and fresh thing for us. I think that's what really kept us together through that.
And speaking of this name, Klay N The Mud. All right. What happened there? Was that like, hey, you come up with something, you come up with something? Obviously, Klay is part of your name, Klay, but what was that about?
That was our guitar player at the time, Jordan, who he'll be at this show. He'll be playing this show, but he's not an active every show member. But occasionally he'll fill in. But either way, he was the one that came up with this band name. I think his wife actually was the one that came up with it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yep, she did.
Yeah. So I wanted like a solo band. You know how these artists will do that. This is our side band. Let's do something where it's just my name and the so and so's. And I'm like, what can I do? And I don't really have a very rock star style last name by any means. And I didn't want to use my last name. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. AI wasn't a thing back then quite yet. So I couldn't ask AI. And, so Jordan just randomly came up with the name Klay N The Mud. It sounded kind of clever, because it's like play in the mud and clay is kind of like mud. And I'm like, whatever, sounds good.
Yeah.
There's really not much more to it.
It stuck, it sounded like. And it's gotten you to where you're at today. Speaking of that, for our listeners and viewers that are just tuning in, we're talking with Klay and Tyler from Klay N The Mud. They are performing August 2nd, West Shore Bank's Rhythm and Dunes concert at Waterfront Park in downtown Ludington. And you guys, we get about 5,000 to 7,000 people that they put their camping chairs up the day before, their blankets out. The boats come in, and it's just a really great community-focused event. What's your thoughts about playing in Ludington? It can't be a first time because you guys formed in the Grand Rapids area, which 90 minutes from Ludington, or is this a first time for you?
No, this is actually not our first time. I think we've played maybe a couple other times in Ludington, but last summer we opened up for Tiffany. And I'm sure you remember who she is from back in the 80s.
Absolutely.
We opened up for her in Ludington, and some of the folks from the committee that run this Rhythm and Dunes show were at that show, and that's where we had met them. So we were the opening act and played, I think, 45 minutes. And that was a fantastic time, and that was a good opportunity for us to get kind of this exposure in Ludington, if you will. But Ludington for me has like a soft spot because it was somewhere I went to when I was a kid all the time growing up, and I have a lot of really fond memories of Ludington. So it's really cool, and I think Tyler can say the same.
Yeah, my family's been camping at the state park for the last 30 years. It's a family tradition. We go up there every year, and the past couple of years, the last decade, when Rhythm and Dunes they started playing, I would always go, and my family would always come and set up our chairs in the morning so we'd have a spot. And I'd always go and be like, man, it'd be really cool to play this someday. So now that we're finally playing it, it's amazing. It really is.
came full circle for you. And I think
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome. Music wise, Google Dolls, Collective Soul, Matchbox 20, some rock, some alternative. Am I on the right track?
Yeah, I mean, when I first kind of had this idea for this band, I wanted to take a direction of that 90s alternative kind of 90s, that stuff you don't hear overdone kind of. And I've always liked that kind of music, and I really have. But the idea for this band originally was for me to be completely original. That's all I wanted to do was write music and maybe play an occasional, bar or something like that. And that idea kind of shifted. I think maybe COVID had something to do with that. But this whole entire band has really changed over the last 5 years. I mean, don't you agree, Tyler? I mean, we have expanded way out from just the rock. We do everything,
Yeah, for sure. We do everything from like a little bit of hip hop. We've done some R&B stuff. We've done everything from Creed to, Kool and the Gang. It was always, because we grew up playing a lot of the 80s stuff with our other bands, and we just wanted something different to really jam out and just experience. It's so much fun to play other types of music. We just wanted to be universal.
Yeah, because Tyler and I, sorry, Chris, I just wanted to
go
say,
ahead.
Tyler and I were always, we met in high school, became best friends in high school, and we started a band, and we were obsessed with the 80s hair metal. That's all we played and listened to. We wanted to be the next Rat or Motley Crue, and we began a cover band playing that stuff exclusively, and we kind of got this reputation for we are a hair band, and I could never escape that unless I started a different band. So that was kind of the way to do that without completely throwing our fans off, off base. So we started this, and our goal was to play whatever people like. I want to appeal to everybody, and it's worked out for us so far.
Well, and that was my question. Can you do that from a band standpoint? Have your identity and still appeal to a mass audience, because even with Rhythm and Dunes, you get the teenagers that come out, the adults, those that want to dance, those that want to just chill and relax. It's got to be difficult from your perspective, isn't it? A little bit.
It is. I think we try to curate our set list to kind of whatever venue we're playing. If we're playing a rock bar, of course, we're not going to play, any pop really, because it just doesn't make sense. But if we're playing a very mixed crowd where there's a demographic of 70-year-olds and 20-year-olds, we got to hit all the areas and try to appease everybody, So it's kind of a way for it's cool because I see so many bands out there that have one identity, and that's fine and that's great. There's a place and time for that. But if we can kind of appeal to everybody and totally surprise somebody with what we're going to play next, I find that to be kind of a niche. It's unique.
Yep, absolutely. If you're just joining us, Klay and Tyler from Klay N The Mud joining us again, performing at West Shore Bank's Rhythm and Dunes concert coming up on Saturday. It's August 2nd. You do not want to miss this, because my next question, hopefully, is the results of people coming out, and that is what makes the show for you when you look out at that crowd. And by the way, there's a dance floor. Okay, it's in the grass, but there's a dance floor for this concert. Is it when it's packed and everybody's dancing and singing? What is the and Tyler? What's the aha moment for you?
The aha moment would be to look out of the crowd, come out with a rockin' song that, like you said, that appeals to everyone. Because I played this show I've been to this show for many years, and I know the demographics. My parents are kind of part of that older demographic. The aha moment is when you can get people of all ages somehow look out at them and see the smile on their face and say, we're playing this song for you, and then we're going to play this song for you, and then we're going to get the people dancing and warm them up a little bit, and then we come out with just a completely banger that no one expects to keep the crowd. That's my aha moment for sure. Aha, we got them. And we've done that for so many years, and then you start to get into it. That's what keeps you that's what keeps it fun and fresh for sure.
Well, and Clay, with TikTok and all the socials out there that are bringing back some of the nostalgia that comes with music from over the years, it almost has to be where the bar's being raised for you. Be like, hey, we gotta, we gotta play that song because it's trending right now, or we've got to start looking at that. And then you do have that older demographic and that younger demographic kind of in harmony a little bit, right?
So true. You have to be, I think, at least, to be in a successful band that plays frequently and is able to play a lot of different venues and festivals and you name it, weddings, whatever. You have to be willing to pivot. It's no different than a business. So whatever's kind of hot at the moment, whatever is trending, like you spoke about. I think there's songs that you may not love to even play. There may be songs that you like cringe at the thought of even having to cover, but then you see what it does for the audience, and all of a sudden you start loving it. I've had that happen numerous times where I'm like, I do not want to play this song. I can't stand when I hear it on the radio, but let's try it. And then we do it, and then it becomes my favorite song to play because people love it.
Well, you put yourself on the spot, so I'm going to ask the question then, to both of you. What is that song? What is the song that? And sorry for doing this to
Yeah,
the
that's
two of
cool.
you, but
That's cool.
yeah, what's the song that it's like, oh, we got to do that, but you know what? You're doing it for the fans. You're doing it for those that are there. But what is it, Tyler? We'll start with you.
The song probably for me is gotta be probably Enter Sandman by Metallica. It has to be.
Okay.
As much as you'd think I would like that song because it's so much heavy, drum centered, it's usually just tied in with the thought of it's towards the end of the night, people are having a good time and they want to hear it. And you don't think these like 21-year-old kids are gonna like this song, but they hear that first opening little lick with a guitar and then they go nuts because it's such a popular song. People hear it everywhere.
That's cool. That's cool. What do you got, Clay? What's your thoughts?
I would have to say Tom Sawyer by Rush.
Yeah, right. You would say that.
I only said that because Tyler absolutely hates when we have to play that song because
Oh, really?
well,
No.
we haven't played it forever, but we used to play it a lot because it's so hard on the drums. So I always call it out, but we actually don't do it. So that's our inside joke. But for real, I would say probably Mr. Brightside. I really love that song. It's something I never actually used to listen to. I'm like, I don't really care for this, but like I was talking about a minute ago, the younger crowd is obsessed with that song. It's like it's such a I don't know what to even call it, but it's a massive hit. So I love doing that one.
Yeah, no, this is great. It's a charity benefit for, and we mentioned this early on in the start of the segment, for local bands in the area. That has to mean something to the two of you, obviously from a music standpoint, but from a giving back standpoint, what's your kind of philosophy or thoughts on that? Obviously you're out there performing, you get through the night, hopefully it's a good set. But in this particular case with West Shore Banks Rhythm and Dunes concert, you're helping to put instruments in the hands of these students and uniforms and travel and everything else that goes along with it. Clay, what's your thoughts on that?
I think it's amazing. I honestly, it may sound cliche, but music, I don't know what I would be doing if I didn't have that outlet. I mean, and yeah, I was never in band when I was in high school or any type of school, but I always sang in choir and I always had a love for singing. And it wasn't until after high school that I pick up an instrument or start going that direction or even start a band, basically start a band after high school. But if it wasn't for those programs, I don't know what I would be doing today. So I think it's such an escape. It's a universal language, and I see a lot of young kids starting to pick up the guitar or any type of instrument, and I think it's a way to bring communities together, and it's a way to have a goal and strive for something. And I had that goal when I was 18, and Did I go as far as I maybe aspired to be? No, or to do? No, but I got quite far, and I'm proud of where we are, and we made a career out of it. So
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah. Tyler, your thoughts on that too?
Well, I'm like Clay. I've been in band through a good part of my middle school, high school. I played the trombone, believe it or not. So I've always had a love for music, but first started, I guess, when I was such a young kid, and my dad was a DJ back in the day, and he would just play music constantly, and I was obsessed with it. And I really wasn't like the straight A student, but I was always pretty good at music and reading music and the drums, and I just always had like it always seemed to come natural to me, like drums especially. So I just think it's great that um, it's such an appealing thing to so many kids to put instruments, because I was one of those kids, and it just was such a good outlet for me, and to get away from like your normal everyday life. It's just music. I can listen to it for hours. I can play it for hours. It's so good for the community, and it's so good to help raise money for such a good cause.
Well, even back when you were in high school and playing, there was probably organizations or events that were helping contribute to your future in music, and look where you have come to today now, which is great. I didn't ask early on in the conversation about what you perform, what instruments you use, and so on and so forth. But during our conversation, obviously, there's enough hints there. Uh, Let me guess, Tyler, you got the drums.
Oh,
Yeah.
And what is that like? I mean, you're in the back of the stage. You've got the rest of the performers in front of you. You're keeping the rhythm, everything else going. What's that like to drum for this particular band?
it's great. A lot of I'm not the most flashy drummer, but I mean the drummer. Not many people think about it, but it's what starts to make or break the band, because we're in the back, we're doing our job, and that's all I want. I could take or leave the front of the stage, leave that for the singers and the guitar players. They get all the glory.
Mhm.
That's fine. But especially the drummer, he's got to be solid. He's got to know what to do in a given situation. He's got to keep time,
Mhm.
and that without them, him and the bass player, they make or break the dance floor.
Yeah.
So it
Fun.
definitely is the driving force behind the band for sure.
Clay, your thoughts on it? Vocals, obviously, you probably pick up a guitar during the set a little bit, or is it just singing? What's it going to be like for you Saturday night?
I will have I will have my rhythm guitar as well that I'll be playing, and yeah, there will be occasions where I will put it down because we also have two other guitar players in the band. So I do like that ability to run around the stage and have that opportunity. Being a frontman is so fun because you're kind of in charge of getting the crowd hyped, and there is nothing like that. I mean, I don't think there's any feeling quite like having the audience. Almost like they're in the palm of your hand in some aspects. So it's really cool. It can be nerve-wracking. There's no doubt about it. But I find that that level of nervousness kind of exciting in a way. So I think the more people, the better. I
Yeah.
think I've gotten more nervous at shows where there's hardly anybody there than in the shows where there's tons. So
Oh, well,
yeah.
you won't have an issue with people being there, especially we have security that's right there at the front of the stage, and it happens nearly every year that they run out of space between security the security members and the fans there in the stage. And at the end of the night, and I hope you're ready to have an encore, because they usually don't want the bands to go, as you've seen probably in the history of you performing. It is rhythm and dunes, and that final song, and then wanting to make sure that you stick around for a little bit longer. So it's a pretty good experience.
Yeah, we can't wait.
Uh, Last couple questions before we wrap up, and I appreciate you taking some time with us. You've got the five, and you alluded to this a little bit earlier, but between the two of you, you have other performers that are going to be with you. Take us through that, if you don't mind, so that we can kind of put our expectation hat on.
Yeah, so joining us for this particular performance will basically be the same exact lineup, plus our additional guitar player that has been in Klay in the Mud for years. Like I was mentioning before, he's not at every show, but he does step into some shows. Will be the same lineup that the committee saw us play, or some of the committee saw us play with Tiffany for. So we have a fellow singer, front woman. Her name is Lauren. She goes by Eveline. She's an amazing solo artist and has also played in very successful cover bands out of Grand Rapids. And she'll be fronting kind of with me. She'll be taking vocals and lead vocals on some songs, and then of course singing backups, and then also playing some keys and harmonica. And then we will have two guitar players, one lead, one rhythm. Myself will be playing rhythm and singing lead, and then a bass and drums. So there'll be 6 of us there that night. We want to create as big of a sound as we can create, and be able to expand and play as many styles as we can. And yeah, that's what we're aiming for. What do you think, Tyler?
Definitely, for sure. And especially we've Klay and I have played in bands where it's not with a female vocalist. So definitely we played with all these guys before. They're all good people, good musicians, good friends. Playing with Lauren as a female vocalist gives us a whole different dimension to the band and lets us cross over to a ton more people. And it's just fun for that, and fresh for that switch to play with a female vocalist. It's great.
That's cool. It gives that different vibe that you can kind of transition from. I think it's pretty neat. Well, we're excited about it. It's coming up this Saturday, August 2nd, and it is Klay and the Mud performing at West Shore Bank's Rhythm and Dunes concert. You guys have been together for the last 5 years. Obviously, a little bit of struggle, not on your own purpose or or because of anything other than outside influences, but look at where you have come to, and to be able to be performing for the Ludington community. That's a big deal for us because Rhythm and Dunes, the bands that play at Rhythm and Dunes, we always have this high expectation bar. So sorry to put the pressure on you. Okay, just for clarification. But but it brings in people, when I'm up on the stage and emceeing and asking about where people have come from, and multiple states that travel and that are in the Ludington area for this event. Maybe they're coming up and as a tourist, or coming up for the summer and such. But hopefully it continues to spread the word about your band, and continues to grow to new heights for you. And if Ludington can help that just a little bit more, then that's a great thing. So hopefully that's what we can see, and having a great time of you guys performing and helping out some great local high school bands as well.
Yeah, we are so grateful for this opportunity. So thank you so much, and thank you for allowing us to be on this program and get the word out. We're pumped.
And Ludington is such a great city, and it's so exciting to play on that stage, and just the harbor and everyone coming to see a live band. It keeps the city going. So we're incredibly excited for this show, Chris.
Yeah, and they'll be out on the boats listening to you. I mean, when it is a filled park. We always like to see that, and we do want to encourage everybody listening and viewing to come out, get your chairs down early, make sure that you're get ready to dance a little bit and all that good stuff. And we appreciate the two of you. How can people, Klay? How can people follow you guys? Are you socials, website? What can we do to connect others to you?
Yeah, the two platforms we stay most active on are Facebook and Instagram. So Facebook, Klay in the Mud, you'll see a lot of our stuff there, and then Instagram, Klay in the Mud, and that is Klay N The Mud, not in. A lot of people think it's in the mud. So
and Klay with a K.
and Klay with a K. So we got
Yep.
a lot of nuances. And Mud, for some reason, so many people put our name on marquees with 2 D's with Mud. I don't understand. What is that, Tyler?
The Michigan thing.
There's been 2 people, I think, 2 venues that have gotten it right out of probably 100.
Well,
So
we'll keep our eyes on things for
yeah,
for the
Appreciate that.
attention to detail, brown M&M type thing.
Absolutely. Well, and we'll put links to your Instagram and your Facebook in the comment section of this Facebook and YouTube post as well. And you know, if we can do what we can for you, it'll be great. Can't wait to meet you guys in person. And thanks for taking some time with us. And we'll see you August 2nd.
Likewise, Chris. Thanks again.
Perfect. Thank you, Chris.
You got it. It is 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. If you missed any part of this interview, you can check it out right there on both of our Facebook pages and our YouTube channel. It is Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9.